Okay, three, two, one. Hi, here I am, and I hope you like that the video. It's the same intro as last week. I'm not going to do one every day, every new show, but this time around, I did a little countdown on my own. Oh, let's see, who have we got here? Oh Lord, okay, we have. Let's see, we're going to do this here. Mike, Jimmy, hi, how you doing? Frater CR, hello, how are you doing? And this is Nick Maverson. Nicky, it's been a very long time. I think it's like 40 some odd years. Yes. How are you doing? I can see you. No, you can see me, but I can't see you. Okay. We have here Pop Culture a Culture Avenger. Hello. Hello, everybody. Okay. Let's see. We're going to do. I like the title of this series of videos I'm going to do, or at least live streams. The Angel and the Badman, and that's from an old John Wayne movie. But I kind of figured it's apropos to doing the Angel. That's Michael, the Bloodwing Angel, and John Celestri, and I'm the Badman for creating this, I guess. Anyway, what we're going to do is I'm in the process. I'm drawing up the next set of stories that will be out maybe about back in the maybe in October. I might be doing the next 48 pages, but I'm getting really close to completing them. At least I've got 32 pages done out of the 48, so that's good. And Nick says it's Days of Tubby the Tuba and Raggedy Ann. Yes, and that goes back to 75, 76, yeah, 74, 75, 76. Long time ago. Good, long time ago, Nick. Okay, well, let's see. I'm going to go to, that's my drawing. I'm going to show you the process where I am right now. For those who don't know what my basic process is, I'll go over it a bit. I will create my drawings. I will do thumbnails that are the full size of what a comic book page will be, and I'll really work them out. I'll even trying to figure out where the lettering will be, what the action will be, what what the balloons will be like. Once I've gotten that done, I will then go in and output it, put it into. I'll scan the drawing, the page, and put it into Clip Studio Paint, and and you'll note I'm got the various the lettering in its final format, and that'll show me how much my approximation for the word balloons are, and then I can adjust them. I'll then blow up a section of it so that I can draw it even bigger. I can rough it instead of drawing it. I don't want to lose my thumbnails and the energy that I have from it. So I will then put that down and then get to this rough stage. And I was really working away the action going on. But I don't need to. I'll make the adjustments on the word balloons on my own. Like I'll play around with them and make them adjust them, as you can see. Then, in this particular case, because there's a lot of acting going on, subtle acting, I decided, let me blow it up even more, because now we're getting to the size of a what a comic book page original used to be. This is 11, and usually it would be 10 by 15. I make it 11 because it's a little bit bigger. I can scan it properly. So if I were to put 3 of these levels in, it would be about 11 by 16 and a half. But this is 1/3 of it. And then I will then blow up these 3 panels within this level so that I can blow it up and really work on the subtlety of the expression. Now, before I continue, can you hear me all? Can you? Is somebody just raise your hand? Just say, "Hey, yes," or speak louder. Anything like that. Nick, type in. Can you hear me? Is everything coming across? Dee. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yes. Okay. Yep. We can hear you. No worries. I can hear you. Carol. And I'm going to butcher the name, and I'm sorry. Nisieki? Nisi. Oh, I am sorry. Carol. I'll just have to call you Carol. I'm sorry. Okay. So I'm going to put a sheet of animation bond paper on here. Throw this light on, and Nick will recognize this. This is a Raggedy Ann and Andy disc. This is a Raggedy Ann from the old days. And I'm going to start drawing here. And I'm not doing this is the process I would go and develop. I used as an animator and as a cleanup artist. No, don't need in-betweens here. And I'm not trying to just clean this up. I'm tracing, but not exactly tracing. Trying to just recapture using this light box or the animation disc. Okay, I'm going to show you this here. Turn this off just for a moment. Now, hopefully that shows up. You'll see I am not exactly tracing. I'm just in many ways, I'm just refining. That's what I'm doing. I'm refining the drawing that's underneath. And everybody's got their own ways of working. Now, you can ask me questions while I'm doing this, and I will do the best I can to answer them. It's there is a big difference between tracing a drawing and doing what I'm doing in this case. I'm using the underdrawing as a guide. Again, I'm trying to refine it. Oh, let's see here. By the way, this looks amazing. You're drawing it by your own or someone help you? No, I'm doing everything. I'm doing everything on my own. Coloring it, lettering it, writing it, the whole thing. It's all me. And I wish I could go faster, but I can't. Okay. And I remember as an animator, as an assistant animator, what I learned was to understand what the roughs that an animator will put together and lay down on paper. And I had to learn what was if they were a very rough animator, the drawings were very rough. I had to understand what it was that the animator was trying to get across, because in many cases I would be trying to recapture the essence of the drawing while putting it into into the model. Sometimes they drew off model a lot, right, Nick? And so here, let's see here. Just I'll leave this. I'll leave the glasses. Well, let's play with. This is Cherry's face. Now, this guy here is he's one. The idea is he's never been in this club before, and he's a mark, and she's hooked him and brought him in, and this guy he's never been in the swanky joint, and she's just kind of saying, hey, there are games back, in the out in the back room. That's why I'm the bad man. I'm drawing bad stuff. Let's see. In comics, and this is the thing that I find extremely frustrating, in comic book work, expressions are almost, facial expressions are extremely non-existent, other than gritting teeth and shouting and I don't know, the subtlety of movement, subtlety of facial expression is almost non-existent. You know, maybe it's just I'm looking at the wrong comics, but anything that's super realistic, you know, is a very, I don't know. I feel as though everything is posed, and we're not getting a feeling of, you know, I'm used to animation where you really have to play, even a subtle expression has to be played up. But when you look at it after a while, with a drawing, a subtlety, rather a wilder expression, or a more, what's the word, obvious expression will read subtly after, you know, when all is said and done. It's pantomime. Here. Little things like, you know, putting her hand on his chest. Trust. Mm. Okay. Okay, so now that you've seen this here posed here, um, just just to be just to give you a variety of what the posing is like in this scene here. So I'm going to clean up this drawing, which I did earlier today. But as animation wise, you could see, you know, there are keys here. There's expressions going on, the difference. So I thought it'd be fun to sort of not work on the same drawing. Take this out here. And okay, let's have a question here. Frater CR, how do you build your story? You start with a conclusion that must be told, or it's just a bunch of ideas that fits in an overarching narrative with the time? It really depends. Uh, I'm. I think there is a point. There has to be a point to the story. In this particular case, I've got a 7-page story with wrong one here. There's a 7-page story to give you an understanding of what the characters in this in this club, the 1717 club, are all about. I there when we're dropping, I'm dropping this innocent angel into a world where the understanding of right and wrong has been turned on its head, and so therefore, when people say I don't want to be part of this group, don't deal with them, don't get involved with them. The idea is, well, why not? So I figure it's kind of an older, what is it? The old, um, uh, what is it? Spirit stories that would work in 7 pages, and so that's what I'm doing. I have a beginning, middle, and end. The same thing would go with old school comics of the 20s, and or rather of the 40s and 50s, and then you would have a complete story. Well, in this case, this is a complete story. It depends, and so you will have a beginning, middle, and end. You have a setup, a development of a situation, and then a resolution. But in this case, I switch it around so that you would see how it starts, and it's kind of a cycle that in terms of what happens inside this club in many cases. With Let me just go to here. It's not so much that that I just want to have short stories. There are just some stories that need to be told very quickly, and they have to be a certain kind of snap to them. With the overarching story of Michael, the Bloodwing Angel, well, it's a continuing story, the same way that you would have in the old days of comic stories, comic strips, and newspapers, and the stories would be connected, but they would begin and then end, and then carry on, and sometimes characters would carry on from one storyline to another. It's not exactly you have your 5 main characters, and then that's that. Sometimes the characters go away. Secondary characters would leave, and then a few months later would come back. With Michael, I'm thinking, well, the character gets plopped down into this world that Michael has no understanding. So it has to be an ongoing situation for me. I see plenty of stories. There is a whole theme to this. But in terms of a story arc, and that's what we'll refer to it, is yes, there is a conclusion, there's a beginning, there are a whole lot of elements that would come together, and I would put them in with on post-it notes. I'd slap out ideas, and I'd say, this is a basic idea. Okay, I'll slap that down, and then I'll add it, and then I'll see what are the main characters, and who's trying to keep somebody else from getting their goals accomplished. Or maybe they don't know each other and they're working off screen from each other, not aware that they have any kind of relationship, but the people that they are interacting with, not knowing each other, they wind up connecting. There are so many different ways to do it, but I would say that there should be a goal somewhere within a certain number of pages. It could be 48 pages, it could be, 100 pages, but make sure that when whatever you're doing, leave your audience in a way wanting to know what the next thing is going to happen, is going to uh, leave them wanting more, but make them satisfied. I think a 24-page book story is, in the beginning, at least where I'm looking at it, and the amount of visuals that I put into my story, I think 48 pages is better, because then you have a lot that you can, it's not so much you can resolve, you can develop um, materials in several situations in 48 pages. Then make sure that at the end of those 48 pages, there is some more, the reader is understanding more of what's going on and wants to know more. So that's so building the story is a piece by piece thing. I don't try and just start with, linearly and say, okay, I'm starting at this point, then I'm going to go that way, to the end. I want to be able to say, I will mold it, and then in the molding process, I may throw stuff out, or two ideas might be combined, or I might be very, I don't know. I'll come out with it'll make me think of something else. So anyway, let's get to, let me get to here. So I'm now going to buff down this drawing. I've done, the blues, laid down a blue line, but it's a little bit, the blue line is a little too dark for me. And so I'm just trying to leave an impression. I still have the underline drawing, but you'll see that I've refined the top drawing a bit more. And let's see here. Okay, what have we got here? That's a pencil. So there's a certain point where you just can't get a thin enough line with a pencil to get subtle expressions. Not, after a certain size. So that's why you have to make it larger, and then when it's reduced, everything will tighten up a little bit, but you will still be able to, you will still see the expression. Now, I'm not trying to encase the line, all the shapes with the line, because I'll leave it open when I do the color. It'll be underneath this, very much like animation cells, but in this case, I'll be able to leave it open, leave it just some lines, areas open, and the color will fill in. The gentleman does not have good skin. Let's see. Now, with this here, I'm going to show you something that I do. Is because I've got a thinner pencil, and a softer lead would create all kinds of issues for me. I mean, it might crumble. To approximate a thick and thin line, I'll go over it in areas. That's so that I don't have the same kind of wiry line. I like to have a variety of weights to this. Okay. Okay, let's work on Cherry's face. Sometimes when you're, drawing something like this, you're trying to say, okay, a shape, a form is overlapping another form. We've got here's just how you hook a line can make all the difference between it feeling good or not. For example, in this case here, I'm trying to get a feeling that she's actually sucking on the straw. And to do that, let's say drawing a little bit here. Here's a straw, and that would be on the inside of the mouth. Now, you have a lip, an oval lip here, goes in, but then the other side of the lip. Where you turn, and then sometimes if you suck, it's a big difference between that and that. It's like you're puckering. And that's why, when I was doing this, I wanted to make sure that I had a certain amount of pucker. Now I'm even going to erase this one because I liked the other pucker better. That's here. I like that better. You see, this is the process. You may be wondering, why am I being so finicky? Well, I want to get the expression just right. That's to my satisfaction. That's what I'm doing this for myself. Okay. Just tweeted this out. Oh, hi, thanks, Ryan. Thank you very much. This is old John Carroll. Oh, okay, yeah, you're answering that question. Yes. So here we are with this, trying to capture as much as I can this expression. Just no slurping sounds there. Phoenix Animation. Hey, John. First time checking out the channel. Ryan tweeted about it, said there'd be cake. Oh, yeah. Well, sorry. Yeah, that happened early on. That's about 3 hours ago, and I ate it all. Sorry. But thanks for showing up. Well, I'll try and have cake next time. Okay? I promise. Let's see here. Okay, so. See, that's what happens. I can't. I focus on, and then I forget that I've got somebody looking over my shoulders here. So I apologize if I'm not as verbal as some of the others. I'm hoping that that this will that I'll get better at it. I can't tell. I'm not used to telling stories. So, yes. Dang it, that's what I get for being late. Yeah, true. Ryan, how are you? Oh, okay. That's that private conversations going on here. All right, now I'm going to work with with a with a Blackwing 602. I use a combination of Japanese pencils and 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 American pencils. This is the Mitsubishi HB writing pencil, and I find it really cool. It's an HB, but it's a softer than what you Americans have in North Americans HB pencils are. And this is a this is a Palomino Blackwing 602. Now this is as and you know, Nick Maverson will attest to how many, you know, how animators used to have, you know, this as their drawing, their go-to pencil for many. So anyway, I'll use the Mitsubishi for thinner lines, and then I'll go on to with a Blackwing for thicker lines. In this case, the hair for um, Cherry, more of a 60s, 70s afro, very curly. But again, this world has changed. I mean, we're no longer when I talk about what year this is, when this takes place, the universe has totally changed. So I don't know in the new um, I don't know time frame where this is. All I know it's a conglomeration of things that I remember in the, you know, growing up in Brooklyn. It could be present day. It may not. It will be a future. But you have to read the story and to get a feeling for what this is all about. Oh, by the way, we are, you know, the Bloodwing Angel is now on the is on Indiegogo, and that's you know, it's you can check out what I've got on that page. It'll show all kinds of drawings and perks and what have you. Let's see. All right, and they're watching John. Oh, yeah, okay. All right, that's family stuff. Let's see here. Eric Hauser, first time seeing your stream, John. Do you plan on doing these a lot? What I'm committing to right now, at least for the next 4 weeks, is to do it Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 3:30, Eastern time. So I'm going to be working on this a lot, and because I want to get this, page done. I want to get these 7 pages done. But you could watch me in the process, and I thought, this is my best way of interacting with new people, getting to people getting to know what I'm doing, who I am, and it's not to I'm even though I've been in the business for a long time, most people don't know who I am. And doing a brand new series like this, even on Indiegogo and Kickstarter, um, it's a lot easier, to get for people to become familiar with who I am and my personality and what I have to offer in stories is by showing them and having you, doing these streams and answering any questions that you may have while I'm working away here. So this is my way of doing it, but uh, it's I'm not going to have background music, and I promise I don't have many interruptions. I don't have kids coming in and interrupting me, and I don't have a cat that has a tendency to want to jump on top of my drawing board. Now, that may be entertaining for you, but that would be a distraction for me because this is production time. Pop Culture Avenger, I enjoy your live streams. Thank you. Thank you very much. And Eric Housel, that's cool. Thanks. It's great to see your progress. Yes. Well, that was the process. Yes, it's and that's what it is. It's a process. There's nothing that flows out of this pencil, beautifully. I'm not Mozart. Far from it. Okay, let's get back to this here. Let's see, shoulders. The process, a lot of it also is feeling the drawing. Even though in this case one shoulder for Cherry is a little lower down, but she's raising something, but yet her other shoulder is propped up because her elbow is higher and is leaning on her leg. So I'm trying to get a feeling of torque, a feeling of energy. And one of the hardest things to do for a guy is to draw a feminine pose without it being cliche. But yet there are certain things that are natural to a gal, and some things are more natural to a guy. Now, even though this is, I'm trying to be as believable as possible with my posing, there is there's a different. It is cartoony, but it's I'm trying to make it believable. Here Okay, we're getting into the thinner. Just as a way of just doing my own little bit of marketing here, I've got this guy wearing a John the Animator Guy T-shirt. Don't have them yet, but why not kind of play around with this? Let's see here. So we're pretty much getting. Let's see here. Any questions that have popped into your heads? Please feel free to ask. Here we go. Okay. Connor Conman asks, do you have any tips for inking? I feel like my drawings lose a lot of their charm once I start inking. Uh, Inking is really drawing with ink. If you'll see, you know, between the two here, they're not. I'm not exactly tracing. I mean, if you were, I can't really. When I used to ink, I would draw with my brush. A lot of it is that. Um, I would draw with my brush, and but that's why you have to have a bigger, a drawing to work with. Um, and it really depends on the types of brushes that you have. Now, the reason that I don't like Cintiqs is because I don't like the feeling of my item on my pencil on glass. Now, I understand that the last time I drew on a Cintiq was maybe 6 years ago, 6, 7 years ago, and so they say they've changed it, but there's still a momentary and a fraction of a second difference between the time you lay down the line and the way when it shows up. It's still, maybe it's a 1/24th of a second or maybe a 12th of a second, which to me is two drawings, one drawing or two drawings behind. In the old, 24 frames per second way of looking at it. And so I feel disconnected from that line. I don't feel it's all part of me. The pencils are, so with and now are you talking, Connor, are you talking about a digital inking or pen on paper or brush on paper inking? How, you can ask that. If it's if it's digital inking, I've just explained to you why I don't like drawing on a Cintiq. If it's for traditional pen and ink and paper, it's practice. It's really, really practice. And the thing about it is that with this kind of work, you should be able to. You have to learn to be loose in how you move. If you are putting everything into the pencil, then you're going to try and recapture it, and it'll always feel like you've gone back, you've gone down a step. In what I did with this, in this process, what I did do was, this is very rough. Oh, let me get back to this here. This is a rough. Okay, it's semi-clean. It's a process. It's semi-clean. I'm tying it. I tied down the drawings, and but then in this case, even though you saw me, work with a blue pencil and transfer the shapes and forms, onto this other piece of paper, they're not exactly the same. I allow myself to draw in the process. I lay down the drawing, I lay down the blues, and then with my pen, with my pencil, I am being loose. I'm not trying to do exactly the same thing. I'm not trying to trace. The drawing process is part of, or rather, doing it on step by step is part of my drawing process, so that I can maintain a certain amount of spontaneity as I'm finishing the drawing. Does that make sense? Let's see. Connor says, both my digital and traditional inking skills are poor, but I think I get what you're saying. I should approach it like I'm doing the drawing again, not like I'm copying a pencil work. Yes, you are refining. Think of it as a molding process. When you have clay, you mold the, when you have clay, even though let's make believe this is a rubber eraser, but it's a piece of clay. When you're working with this here, you're working the drawing. you want to make a shape. You want to make a face, and so you start playing with this, and you don't do it exactly the way you want it to right at the beginning, but you will shape it, and then you'll start playing with, you know, putting up, nostrils maybe. I don't know. You're going to do something with the head, and just want to give yourself a chin maybe. For me, it's every layer is another place to put some spontaneity into the drawing. Now, because I am not putting it all on one piece of paper, I can see the phases. So therefore, if I've captured something that I enjoy. Now, this one here was done as a, let me get this, let's see, where is the pencil here? Okay. Okay, this is the blow up of that. Now, you see how much difference it is. I got the spontaneity of this drawing here, and I could not possibly, for me, recapture that in a cleanup. It's small. So therefore, that's why I blew it up. I believe it's about, I don't know, 75% of the size, 175%. So it's, it's not quite, double up, but then I can start, refining it on this sheet in blue. But once again, all I'm trying to do is recapture what I have here in that, on that sheet of paper, and then in blue, and then refine it with my black pencil. But once again, I'm trying to make sure that I'm back. Paper is backup for me. That's basically what this is. Does that make sense? Yeah, thank you. You're welcome. Okay. Well, we've got about, I've done about an hour, and I figured this is about as far as people want to spend on something like this. If you have any questions, I'll stick around for the next 5 minutes. If you have anything more, to ask, that's great. If not, remember that I'm going to be doing this. Then I'll do this. Next time will be Wednesday at 3:30 Eastern time, and then on Friday I'm going to be drawing like this. And if you don't want to, come in, if this was enough for you, that's great. I just have to keep on drawing. I keep doing my process, and this is my best way of doing it. I don't have, coloring. It's not a, I don't have, I don't have the sharing capabilities right now. At least I don't know. I'm going to practice and see if I can, if my computer and what I've got with StreamYard will allow me to do that. I just only have one screen, so I can share tabs, but and I have this secondary. I've got 2 cameras going, but to do my to share my I don't have a program that will share my painting program, which is Clip Studio Paint. So if I'm very glad that you showed up. I'm happy to that you did. And once again, you can get me, and on Facebook or on Twitter at Celestri John, and check out my studio, let's put it this way. It's my Indiegogo campaign. It's Bloodwing Angel Chronicles, and check it out. I've got it in the description in the on my YouTube channel, on the description on this site. Let me just run this through for a second here, and let's see here. Okay, yeah. Plug just the igg.me//8 at Bloodwing Angels Chronicles. Check out. I've got a lot of pretty good, I think, great perks, and they're very affordable. The highest one is $50 plus shipping, and you get a lot for that. Comments. What we got here? Okay, call you on after the show. Okay, Nick, you take care. See ya. So anyway, this is it, and thanks for showing up. Man, bye and thank you. Okay, we'll see you, and next time. And ciao for now. Take care. Bye.